Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what Indians are all about.
I still say we Indian people are believers in the truth. This is the way of life that was given to your people. You're born an Indian, you're going to die an Indian. Indianness is a good life. You're facing an Indian this afternoon.
Good afternoon out there, everyone. I'm Jason Salzman.
And I'm Neely Soodle.
And you're watching your #1 source for Native American television news.
Native News Today.
And Neely, we have a great program lined up for everyone out there at home this week. So glad you could join us here on the CW in Tulsa, on KSBI in Oklahoma City. We've got lots of great stories, some things from home, some things from our friends at other tribes. So we've got a good little mix here this week, and we always like to pride ourselves on that.
That's right, and I'm so glad that we're reaching out and kind of reaching the other tribal news outlets. So we're always happy to bring everyone's stories to our table here. Yeah,
and the good thing about it is things are happening in other tribal nations and things that we really want to spread the news about, but we can't always get there. You know, Shiner Arapaho, those guys are over in Concho. You know, it's hard to get to sometimes, especially with the weather, how it's been, but they have a big campaign they have coming out. We definitely wanted to share that, so we'll have something from CATV 47, and glad to be able to work with them on that. So it's a great thing that they do out there. And you had a chance to talk with our new TERO manager, or director, I should say.
That's right, and good news is that what we are going to report is jobs.
Jobs, lots of jobs. You can actually see in the interview that you guys did, there's jobs all over this board that he's got ready to just fill up. So that's great news here at the Muskogee Creek Nation. That's what we want to do as a tribal nation. So can't wait to show you that and all the other great stories. We're going to take our first break here. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Native News Today.
Daniels in Ogitskish, Bonshongi Benoat, Bomio, Boshomizatlish.
Momesh, Harishongigo Imongin, Hobidagi, Ani Omaga, Bomaha Hoye, Imongin Oma, Bonshomegigosh. For more information about Muskogee language preservation, please call us at 918-732-7724.
We believe if you teach a man to fish, you can feed him for a lifetime. We believe that transitioning convicted citizens back into our communities enhances public safety. We believe that every citizen, even ex-prisoners, are important and are capable of change. We believe in reclaiming our citizens and investing them back into a culture that embraces healing and restoration.
We believe
in reintegration.
Looking for your next 18-hole adventure? Then take a look at Fountainhead Creek Golf Club. Nestled in the beautiful confines of Lake Eufaula State Park, large sloping greens and well-placed bunkers characterize the Muskogee Creek Nation's Floyd Farley designed course and offers a fine test of skill for any golfer. Stay up on all the latest gear and equipment with a visit to our pro shop. Have lunch at the Turn at the Clubhouse Grill. We're waiting to accommodate you at Fountainhead Creek. Give us a call at 918-689-3209 or visit fountainheadgolf.com to book your next round. Fountainhead Creek Golf Club, close to home, far from ordinary.
If you can just imagine that if you've been told you can't do something, you can't do this, you're not capable, you're not qualified, you're the wrong color, and all of a sudden something happens that says that's not true. I can, and I will.
It was not a game, it was a battle. That's what this game was about. Our people have endured and thrived under abnormal circumstances, and we always have, we always will.
We were part of the early founding of the National Football League as a participating club.
A full roster of just Native Americans.
This was quite awesome for just a little town of 2,000, 3,000 people.
But the bad thing is, nobody knows.
The Hominy Indians put together a football team that could compete at the national level.
This is John Levi, and this is our dad, George. 1924 was when John made All-American. His athletic abilities were excellent.
He was an equivalent to Jim Thorpe. It's unfortunate somebody like that wasn't given the notoriety that he deserved.
You can imagine football in that day, with no pads and no face masks, nothing.
Back then, I think it was more of a impact sport.
The Indians just have that drive in them to compete because maybe they were always the underdog.
That couldn't be taught. It was just natural.
These were tough men.
Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible.
They won 26 consecutive games.
They just felt invincible.
They could do anything they put their hearts to.
The preparation, the people behind you.
These guys are giants, but we're going to conquer the giant.
Even his own family said it was just ridiculous. What are you trying to do, embarrass us?
They had a passion.
We've always been taught as a war group is that you're a team.
This was so much more than just a game. Now they had a chance to prove that not only were they capable of competing against the best team, the world champions, but worthy of being on the same field as them. Two great teams under one flag battling it out on the gridiron.
It's like a destiny, and that destiny is going to carry people's lives for generations to come.
They decided that if they started something, they would go all the way with it, and that's exactly what they did.
Here's our time, here's our chance. Let's get after it.
I pledge to embrace and educate offenders in an effort to stop their abuse.
I pledge to all women to love them, protect them, and teach them that violence does not belong in our communities and is not our tradition.
I pledge to take full responsibility for myself and the women and children of the Muskogee Nation.
I pledge to work courageously and audibly to fulfill this pledge for the rest of my life.
Jehojef ket Paul Fixakodos. Ich kann nagat tekobache mikusap kajogon man amikusap kajokodos.
I'm able to preach in English and Muskogee, our language too, so there's not many that does that today. When I was growing up, that's all we had, Muskogee language, and that's all they preach. I could talk my language when I was small. When I grew up, I could understand what they were saying. We don't want to lose that, language, especially our songs, our native songs and the Muskogee hymns. We want to keep them.
Pumakasam gadat, ibufanga, nage, adigat, punhayadi omega, ajayididet omis.
Diosnuk, that's true. Throughout the generations, our elders have taught us to preserve, share, and more importantly, protect the abundant natural resources we have here in Oklahoma. We are the original environmentalists and protector of these resources. The Muskogee Creek Nation believes tribal and state governments must work together to ensure future generations will have clean air and clean water as the ultimate legacy. What is good for Oklahoma tribal nations is good for all Oklahomans. Remember, tribes are truly the original Oklahomans.
The Muskogee language has always been a part of my life, and so I grew up speaking the language, and I've used it throughout my life. I found that people were interested in learning the language and wanting to revitalize it. The language immersion method of teaching is one that I'm comfortable with. It's a way of reconnecting with our histories and our cultures, and to give this gift or pass this gift on to our children. Mado.
And welcome back to Native News Today. Neely Soodle alongside Jason Salzman. A great weekend after all that weather that we've had. Snow, sun.
Yeah. Did you make homemade ice cream? I did. I went, you get some vanilla extract, a little sugar.
I always heard about that, but does it really work?
No, it actually doesn't. It's horrible. It was awful. I had to throw it away. So I'm a little ticked about that.
Yeah, well.
One thing I'm not ticked about is there's lots of jobs out there at Muskogee Creek Nation. The Tribal Employment Rights Office has a new director, and definitely anytime we get somebody new in here, we want to talk with them and introduce them to our citizens, and you had a chance to sit down with Randy Edge.
That's right, and we have a job fair that's coming up, and so we're trying to get the word out about employment and what's out there, what people can expect, and of course, where to find the jobs.
Lots of projects going on as he outlines in this piece, but we wanted to definitely introduce him to everyone, and I'm really glad to be able to do that.
All right, Randy, you have been here for a short time, but already making a lot of things happen. Tell me a little bit about one of these first events that you have coming along.
One of the first events we have coming along that we're excited about is our job fair we have coming up, and that's going to be March 5th. And it's going to be on a Thursday from 12 to 7. We're very excited about it. We're expecting quite a few turnouts.
Now, we've had one, I believe, in the past, right before you were here, and it was very successful. But for those who don't know what it is, can you tell me a little bit about what TERO is and what people can do at this job fair?
TERO stands for the Tribal Employment Rights Office. And what we do is that we enhance Indian preference on our projects within Creek Nation jurisdiction. And one of our projects that we have currently growing is at the River Expansion Project. And we're expecting right around 46 contractors that are going to be in attendance there. And we're looking to get approximately 20 vendors from the TERO part of it, the certified vendors as well. So we're looking probably about 60 people that are going to be involved, groups that are going to be involved with this, so we're excited.
Great, and the whole idea of this is to get work for folks who are looking for work, right?
The goal and the focus around this is to get employment for our Indian people and our preferences with Creek citizens, and then we go to all federally recognized tribes from there. And basically we want to empower this project with our Indian people and get some good qualified people, skilled and unskilled laborers. Some of the focus that we try to do too is they're looking for an advancement in their opportunity in their careers, and this is a good way to get them started, is to get them in this job fair.
And what kind of areas of expertise or what kind of areas of employment are we looking at?
Well, we're looking at the contract field, basically in construction, and that's dealing with carpentry, plumbers. As we see behind us here, we have a concrete finishers, and so there's a lot of skilled and unskilled areas that we're focused on. So that we just this one side of the board, for example, is over 100 jobs that we have open. Now,
are people? I know we get a lot of calls about this in the public relations department. You know, people wanting to know about employment. Are you seeing that the word's getting out on this?
The word is really really getting out on this program. Like you said, I'm new here, and I've been with TERO for 4 years now. And but on this here at Creek Nation, my 4th month, we started out a little under 100 job bank applicants, and now we're right around 300. So it's really growing. We're at the point now we have certified vendors, and I believe it's 147 is what we're at this point.
Oh my gosh, it just keeps getting larger and larger.
I expect it to really grow, I really do.
And we have some sponsors here with this event, right?
Yes, we have Manhattan Redstone, who's actually sponsoring, and River Spirit Casinos is sponsoring the event.
Okay, again, that's March 6th, right?
Yes, March 5th, and it's going to be on a Thursday, and it's going to be coming up here pretty quick.
All right, thank you again, Randy.
Thank you.
And we hope that everyone goes out and supports the job fair. Lots of jobs March 5th there.
Yes.
Changing the story a little bit, we have some historic news to report on the Muskogee Creek Nation with one of our citizens.
Yes, and you know, Neely, what our tribal government does, a lot of people don't know out there, is in our judicial branch. You know, a lot of the times we see cases from Ocmulgee County, we cross-deputize our police force. You know, we just do a lot of things with state, local, community courts, with tribal courts and things like that. So it's really something that's a unique opportunity for us to work in that. And one of the wonderful things that we have on the show today is, for the first time ever, a Creek citizen has been appointed a special judgeship, county court judgeship in Ocmulgee County. So for the first time ever, a Creek citizen, and it just happens to be a female, which is so cool. Yeah, and it's Pandee Ramirez. She does a great job. Second generation judge now, Muskogee Creek citizen. What big news.
I'm the first Muskogee Creek person that's been sworn into any judge position for the state in this county.
A historic day at the Ocmulgee County Courthouse last week, as several people gathered for a swearing in of Muskogee Creek citizen Pandee Ramirez as special district judge. The newly appointed judge was blown away by the tremendous showing of support at the ceremony.
Well, I thought it turned out very, very nice. I was overwhelmed, like you said, to have that many people come out and show support. It's very humbling, and I'm honored to be able to be in this position and to be in the community back where I was raised.
Now a second-generation judge, Ramirez talked about what led her to pursue a career in the legal field.
I've always wanted to kind of help people, and as I was going along in my education, this kind of attracted me to that, because I'm able to provide a service to people that they weren't able to get. I felt like I could be a little bit more in touch with my community if I was able to provide that kind of service. So I started out wanting to be a social worker and decided I wasn't able to do the kind of help I wanted to do that way, so I went on to law school and been back in the community practicing law ever since.
For the new judge, the experience of the unique situation of tribal, city, and county courts working together will be an asset.
You know, coming from, I was doing child support enforcement prior to coming into this position, and we worked very closely with the Creek Nation's child support enforcement unit out there. We've got to be able to communicate with each other. I know the people out at the tribe, which is very beneficial. Every day on my 3 o'clock docket, I'm seeing Muskogee Creek warrants and things of that nature, so we know how to kind of communicate back and forth, and I'm hoping that'll help open up some lines to make things, transitions and things like that, easier.
Ramirez wants the citizens of Ocmulgee County to know she has already identified areas to improve the court system.
I think the main thing is that we're going to keep our dockets moving in a more rapid pace. We've had kind of some stagnation in some of our criminal dockets, which has created a population problem in the jail. That has somewhat come under control in the last month or so, and I hope to kind of help ease that a little bit more as I get into this position and get my feet on the ground. The 3 district judges that are here, I think you're going to see that our team has better communication than it ever has had in the past. We're working better together, we're talking and keeping things, recognizing the struggles that each one of us has and kind of helping with each other. So I think that's going to be a great thing for the county.
For her peers on the bench in Ocmulgee County, the selection of Ramirez was an easy one.
It's almost like a new era. Of course, I've known Pandee since she was in high school and watched her grow up and mature as a young lawyer. She's been a valuable asset in child support, and she's probably as near perfect a candidate for special judge as we could have picked. So we're really excited.
And Judge Ramirez is ready to get right to work for the citizens of Ocmulgee County.
I'm happy to be here and honored to be able to serve the county in this way.
Okay, moving right along in the program, we have now from Muskogee Schools. They actually sent something over, and they're building a brand new technology center. It's a sort of a resource center for the schools, and they were able to actually receive assistance and help from the Muskogee Creek Nation in the form of National Council appropriations. So they wanted to send over as a gratitude this short video talking a little bit about the center, and we also they also have some councilmen on this video too talking about it.
Yeah, and it kind of explains the partnership that we have with the school there and with our nation here. So all about educating the youngsters.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and you look at not only Muskogee schools, but other schools that we've helped out in the past, and maybe it's paving a parking lot or putting the seal on the floor of a gym and renovating the gym a little bit. So there's all kinds of ways that we can do these partnerships, and we can make ourselves more visible in our communities. And for these schools, it's a great big help for the Creek Nation to help out. So we love sharing these stories.
Right here, we're just now entering as the students would come in the front door of the new tech school. So this would be the entry foyer, and we would actually have doors right here that would, so they could come in here in the morning and gather around. These are large open windows that would open up to the main campus. This would be the office area, and this is where the principal would be of the new tech center. So you can see the vast entry here of more of the welcome to the New Tech Center and the office and the entryway here. Bobby, I see a lot more going on today. How much different has this job been than the other jobs you've had in the past?
This one, design has made a difference in part of it. And then right now in the last, well, I think in probably all the jobs, the amount of work that is going on has made a difference in this job. It's not.
Well, and I think what was so much different on the front end of this job was, you know, it's always hard to get them out of the ground, but this one, so much is underground. With the geothermal, with all the science labs, with all that you had to coordinate going in underground here, there was so much in the ground before the ground could even come up.
This one here has, with the way the foundations were and the way the structural steel in the center portion of it was, you had to get the structural steel, you had to get the foundations for the structural steel, then get the rest of the foundations around the structural steel, then pour the slab around it. After the slab was poured, this one we couldn't do that. It just didn't work that way.
So with it being the open concept, it really was a difficult concept with everything being closed and underneath the ground. It was really tight.
Yes, that's right, because what happened is when you have a foundation there that is engineered to support this building.
And how long have you been in construction?
First job I went on, I was 14 years old. Yeah, but I actually started in it full time when I was 22.
Yeah. I'm not going to ask how old you are, but you're a senior man to construction for sure.
Yeah,
appreciate you being on this job.
Thank you for what you've done for us today, and tell us what this is all about and what led to it.
Well, we were approached by staff from the Muskogee Public Schools about this new technology center, New Tech Academy as it's called, and if we would be willing to be a partner in developing some of the curriculum that the students will be taught, and they will be creating themselves as one of the learning projects.
How do you feel being a part of all this?
I'm excited. I'm very excited that the Muskogee Creek Nation is willing to invest in education for the students at Muskogee Public Schools because it will benefit the nation as a whole.
How do you feel about what you guys have done here today?
Well, as a former educator, and I still consider myself an educator for 39 years, I retired, and I think this is a fantastic project.
Yep.
And a great educational story there, and a big thanks to the Muskogee Creek Nation National Council for the donation appropriation of, I believe it was $150,000 to help build the New Tech Academy there in Muskogee.
What's cool too is you can see, like, every now and again you'll just see, you know, the paperwork of the council. This is the resolution. Right there you actually got to see some of the things that we're helping with. So it really, you know, it's a big thing for us to be able to broadcast that here on the show, to see actually what our national council is doing on a regular basis. So thank you to them. Thank you to Muskogee Public Schools for sending it. Also, another thing sent in this week from Shine Arapahoe TV, Channel 47 out there in western Oklahoma. All of our friends at KSBI probably know what we're talking about. But Mr. Darren Brown sent this over to us. Neely, they just had a kickoff for a big anti-meth campaign there at CA.
That's right, and you know, it's a part of their health initiative in their fight against drugs.
Yes.
So this is awesome that they had a program like this.
Yeah, and I'm so glad they were able to send it to us and share it today.
Statistics show that over the past few years, Oklahoma is once the nation's leader in meth labs, arrest, addiction, as well as child abuse cases and domestic violence stemming from meth use. And our Native communities are no exception to this. We have the highest rate of addiction among all ethnic races, and that is why, as leaders of this tribe, we have declared not on our watch and not on our land.
Meth, you get addicted to it instantly because it becomes an instant high. I would go days without eating because I'd rather get high than eat or do anything. I couldn't focus. I couldn't hold down a job. Methamphetamine destroyed everything. Pretty much it destroyed my life. It took everything that I loved, everyone that I loved, everything that I cared about. Everything.
I had a grandson who lost his life to meth. It was involvement in meth, involvement in gangs that led to his death. It's all across Native America, not just Oklahoma. It's everywhere. And we need, as Native Americans, we really need to take a stand. We have plans to move this campaign out to the community with the help of law enforcement officers. The legislatures are going to be a big part of this as we go into individual communities.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, and that'll wrap up another episode of Native News today. Certainly hope that you liked all the stories and really enjoyed. And tell everybody out there, you know, there's places online. You can go to our online channel if you missed today's episode. Always catch them. Fresh episodes come up every Monday on YouTube. So check it out. We are very proud of our catalog there. So,
that's right, and like us on the Native News Today Facebook.
On the Facebook.
Always looking for new viewers, new fans.
Yeah, and we're going to have some, you know, fun content coming up on our Facebook page. So stay tuned on that. And we really like to interact with the fans on that.
That's right. And speaking of some fans, a story that we have coming up next week, we had a group from Comanche Nation out in southwest Oklahoma that came to visit our media department. So
yeah, they wanted to check the place out. You know, they're actually building a new media center there for the Comanche Nation. They want to do broaden their horizons.
They want to do what we're doing.
They want to do what we're doing. You know, it's great, and we always want to help out other tribal nations that say, "Hey, we see what you've done. We want to come over and check it out and check out the blueprint." And really, you know, for us, that's the best thing we can do is share that and see other tribes popping up with ways to get information to their citizens. It's great.
That's right, and we'll have that story next week. And also, we hope to bring back a story from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, you're going to the Yum Center, right?
Yep, that's
KFC. Right. Now, when they told me where the game was at, they were like, it's at the KFC Yum Center. And I was just like, I'm there. The grilled chicken is bomb if you haven't had it. No, this is becoming an advertisement. What am I doing here? No, but it's going to be great, and I know you'll have a lot of fun covering that story for sure.
That's right, and we're going in support of Native American Night because of Jude Schimmel there.
Yeah, and it's she's still got a great big following, and Shoney now in the WNBA, Angel Goodrich. We follow our athletes, so it's a great thing, and I know you'll have a great time with that. So for everybody out there, make it a great 7 days. Neely Sudel, Jason Salzman, we'll see you all next Saturday.
Bye-bye.